Hello everyone and welcome back to Joy's Creative Finger. I've decided to build a sim street. Now, a few years ago I had built a number of houses on a plot like this. They were small, we didn't have that much beautiful pieces of furniture, and I was going to show it, but somehow along the line I just deleted everything and just carried on. And a number of you who had visited my town had seen it and said to me, why did you delete those little condos? And I just didn't like them very much. But on this plot I became inspired again to create these houses, and I absolutely love them. They've got little gardens to different parts of the property. It's like a street. And I'm much happier that the actual plot doesn't have a fence, surrounding it. It's just got green grounds around. And I do wish the plot was still yet bigger, wider. That would be amazing. So we've got a smaller house here. This is the smallest house on the plot. There are 3 of them. Then you've got the medium house over here, and believe it, it's got 3 bedrooms in there. And it had to be long ways, and you see the garage is there as well with cars in it, and the biggest house is at the end here. So that would be the man or a woman who owns the biggest house in the cul-de-sac, and everyone looks at that house and thinks, oh, how much do you have to pay for that house? It's the biggest house and most glamorous, at least I think so. And I'm quite happy that they all fit on this plot this way, because originally I had 6 houses with the one I had built before, but I felt that 3 was perfect. And then you've got that street all the way to the front here and out through the driveway where the post box is. I think it's best to start with the smallest house on the street. It's a 2-bedroom house, and it's got definition to the exterior, which was important for me just to make it look realistic. You've got little gardening before you get into the front door, and then you've got this lovely chest of drawers that welcomes you when you walk into the house. There is a door then that leads into a hallway where you've got a door to the restroom. We'll see that in a split second. And the other door leads into the garage where there are laundry units for functional use for the family. Then that door in the corridor leads into the kitchen right here, and it's got everything that you need, and you can fill it up even more if you want to. And then you've got the door that leads to the restroom, as I mentioned before, which is also a bathroom, and that's the door to it. So from in there you come into the restroom, the kitchen, and then you follow through to the main living room area. Now, I was very surprised that I could furnish this space. 3 houses on one plot. But I used this as a dining instead of an actual dining table. I tried it before and a dining table did fit, so you can do that. But in this house, I chose that set instead. And then you've got windows, big windows in my mind. And then you've got this living room area here, which I absolutely love. And it looks realistic, it's perfect. And this is what I was saying, I'm happy that we have these beautiful bits of furniture that work nicely in these small spaces. So this is basically the overview of the ground floor of the smallest house on the plot. We then have the staircase that goes up to the living quarters, and you can see that it's an actual family home, right? There are toys scattered around. There are 3 doors, one to the balcony, one to the boys' room, and another to the master bedroom. And then you've got this area which is like a living room. There's a TV, there's toys for the kids to play with, and I think it worked out brilliantly for the smallest house on this plot. So we'll start with the little boy's room over on the side here. I love the color of the room. It just pops with the color red. It's got the sports car as a bed, and he has his units for his clothes and everything that he needs in the space. Then we have the master bedroom over on the side here. It contains a double-sized bed and it's also got a closet, so that's great. And it's also an ensuite. It works out brilliantly. So there's a different angle for you for this bedroom. It's quite snug, and remember, it's the smallest house, and then it's got a big bathroom. Couldn't make it any smaller to make the bedroom bigger, but it worked out fine. And I just love the way that it looks for this floor. Of course, out that door then leads to this balcony area where we've got more space for the family since they don't have that big of a house. So you come out from that door, and the family have an outdoor space, more of an outdoor space than the rest of the houses in the street, to come out and have fun and enjoy a rooftop sort of party or rooftop play area, if you want to put it that way. So it's a compensation for the fact that they have a smaller house, and you'll recognize that the other houses don't have that. So you win some, you lose some. So this is basically what it looks like for an overview. And this bottom part of the house is similar to the house opposite, but of course they don't have a bigger balcony, so they've got more of a space upstairs. So it's a 3-bedroom house. The entrance is similar. I love the way the shrubs, adorn the entrance. It just makes it all the more realistic because it's a small house. And similarly, they have a garage on the side here, and the door leads into the entrance where you've got the front door. So they've got a laundry in there as well. That's the front door to come into the house. And they've also got an entry system piece of decor and some chest of drawers. And you work your way into the living room area and kitchen tucked away behind, sharing the wall that you meet when you walk into the front door. Again, they've got a restroom on the side here. And the entrance to it, again, is in this angle. So you have to work your way in directly when you come in from the entrance. And then you've got the entrance to the living space here, which is slightly different from the one we saw before because of the staircase. So the TV is behind, well, in front of the staircase, I mean to say. And then you've got this lovely white chair, which is actually a makeout couch, but I love the way it looks. Different curtains, similar window, but then they've got a full dining table in here. So as I say, you can have a full dining table in here, so living and dining area. And then you've got the stairs that go up to the living quarters. So this is an overview for you. Love the space. Decided to keep the colors, uniform so that it doesn't look so crammed in. It just makes it more spacious. So this is what it looks like as a whole. Okay, now there is a door here over in the corner, before I forget, that then leads out to where you see the little girl in the small pool having fun in an enclosed garden. I thought that was a nice touch to add that to the side of the building. Right, now we're going to go upstairs. Let's just get these walls down. I'm so glad that we can put walls up and down in this game. It's just wonderful. Otherwise, by now, we would have seen into the rooms, and sometimes you can't really see the definition of the spaces. But there are 3 doors here, one to the master, one to a nursery, and another to a teenage boy's room. There are a couple of teens that live in this room, 2 boys. They enjoy the space, and lucky them, they get to have access to the balcony. And I think that's absolutely lovely. So they have everything they need in the space. Computer to work with, the beds, and then you work your way out here and they get to play pool, right? So where is his brother? I think he's out here somewhere. No, I don't need you to do anything with the car. Todd, let's get him back upstairs to play with his brother. So they have access to a pool table. I think that's fabulous, right? The next room here is the toddler's room. That's the entrance on the side, and it belongs to the little girl that we saw in the paddling pool just over here. She's enjoying the sun, if there's any. But this is her room, and I think it worked out brilliantly. You can add a wardrobe there by taking away the corner chair there and just setting up one wardrobe. It's beautiful. And then we have the door that leads to the master bedroom. And this, again, as I say, is the second house in the street. It's the medium house in the street. So you've got the small house, the medium house, and the big house down the end. So it's got 2 closet spaces for him and for her. Look at that. And then we have a nice window that's sort of set back from the wardrobes. And I think that's beautiful. Look at that. So they've got 2 closets for him and for her, and then they've got more storage, a seat in the corner with a footstool, plants. It's big enough, and they have an ensuite bathroom. I think this works brilliantly. It's interesting how the smaller a plot gets, or the smaller a space gets, you can still make it work with so many features. And to think that I would have a house this long and make it work. I was just basically surprised that it would work. As I say, I had 6 houses on this plot a good while back, some random plot back in the day, and they weren't as nice, and I prefer these ones. So this is the big house down the end of the street, and that's the final house to tour, and you can see that this garage is a 5x1 grid door. It's the smallest one we have along with this one here. It's a 5x1 grid, but the shape of this house didn't allow for symmetry with a 5x1, so I went for that bifold double door instead. I had to improvise so it fits the shape of the house, and then put a car in the front part of the house just so we can see a car in the street of some sort. So this is the way into the biggest house. Now, in order for this car to fit in the garage, it has to go in sideways. Unless you move the wall back by 1 grid, then it'll face out forward. So that's why I decided to put the car outside anyway. This is the way in from the garage, and this is the entrance to the house. And I thought it'd be fun to plunk this massive staircase in the middle, just to make it out that this house is a lot more grander than the other two in the street. It's taken up a lot of space, but still it worked out nicely. This is the way into the living room here. It's got those beautiful sophisticated socialite event couches in here. You've got bookshelves, a TV. I think it's lovely in here, and more of a sitting room than the other two houses we saw, which share a space. Let me just get him to come in and give us a tour, a proper tour this time. So this is his living room area, and then you have a way into the restroom on the side here. So it's definitely for guests as well as members of the house. That's why there's no shower, because you can't make your way down and then shower and then go through the living room. It's just weird. So it's just a restroom, no need for a shower. Now when you work your way around this way, you can come through to the door that leads into the kitchen. It's got everything you need, countertops for your microwave oven, toaster, and so on. Now you work your way past the staircase. So from the kitchen you connect through to the dining room here. So I wanted them to be on this part of the house, you know, and that's where you've got the garage. So if you push back by 1 grid, you'll have a much smaller dining room. Not sure how that will work out, but this is how I've decided to put it together, just for the fun of creating a street. You know, I had to figure out these spaces, and this is an overview for the ground floor of this beautiful house at the end of my sim street. I think of the fairy as a butterfly fluttering around the gardens here and there and the shrubs. Okay, so we're going to go upstairs to the top part of this house, and it is also a 3-bedroom house. This is how it works. So as he comes up, you've got 3 doors again on this landing and 1 to the balcony in front. We have the smallest nursery that I've ever built in this corner here, and you can take away the teddy or the chair and place a closet for the baby. And the baby then has use of this bathroom, which is a Jack and Jill bathroom that's shared by this twin bedroom across the way here. So he's just going to come through that bathroom into this room here, and 2 girls occupy this space. And I think it's cute. They have a look out into the street from that window. It's beautiful, it's spacious. It could be a single room if you wanted to, but they share the bathroom in the corner with the baby that would occupy the nursery. I think that's cute. Across the way we've got the main master bedroom, and it's got space, right? You got the seat, you got the plants, you got a closet space on the side here, you've got this beautiful master room bed that we got with a house that came on this plot. It's really beautiful, and to get more of them you have to build a house repeatedly, you know. Now you work your way through the closet, and then you come through to the master bathroom that you could have with a tub if you want to, but I preferred a shower in this space. I typically do that for seniors in the game, and they also have a view of the street from this window here. Right, that completes the tour for my street. A number of you have asked me to do this, and I just didn't have the inspiration, but certainly cars and a fenceless plot was close enough of an inspiration for me to go ahead and do that. It was an absolute fun build. I'm not sure I'm going to keep it. I'm not even sure about a life build, but if you want one, let me know in the comments down below. I already have the grand estate that I built in the town that I have, and I also have the home that I built, which I absolutely love. Of all of them, I think I'm going to hold on to the home, and I'm going to use it in AR2, and you'll see where that comes in. But thank you so much for watching, and for those of you who asked for me to build a street, here it is. And I think it was absolute fun. And it's nice when you've got a lot of Sims on the plot to enjoy the spaces. But they go into different houses, you know, and they just make use of every house as though they were that close of neighbors. Well, thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye.